Welcome back. Today we're going hard rock prospecting. We're going up this pretty burly 4x4 road. We're in 4 low. That's the only way we can go. Hard rock prospecting is all about looking for the signs, different types of rock. We're looking for contact areas, contact zones, metamorphism, intrusions, dikes, what have you. But here we have our first scattering of quartz. This big quartz looks relatively barren, but this piece right here, let's see if you can see it. So this is pretty massive magnetite and or hematite. We'd have to check it, but it looks like some kind of iron ore. But we have quartz, we have some iron mineralization along this border where gold can occur, and it also has biotite mica, the black mica. Yeah, this guy looks like pretty barren quartz, but if we can find where that's mineralized, we'll be on the trail. So the quartz got much more interesting very quickly. I just had to look around some more. This piece right here, you can see the quartz is in between, in this case, some kind of silicified rock, and this is solid quartz. But you can see where there's little crystals and some limonite type vugs. For this area, this is the gold ore, and this is just sitting here on the hillside. Here's more little shards of it. This is what I'm gonna follow. And if there's a scattering of this or looking material right here, I'm gonna see if I can track down where it's coming out of the hillside, because this is good. Right now we're chasing down this mineralized float, and I narrowed it down to an area of roughly 30 feet where we have some very interesting looking mineralized rock, and we're going to see if we can find where this is eroding out from. But walking up the gulch here, I might have literally just picked up a piece of ore that has a small fleck right at the tip of my thumb. That very well could be free milling ore, a piece of gold, which is extremely exciting. Followed the float up about 50-75 feet up the hillside. It seems to be in this swath here. The richest concentration is right down there in the middle. However, we are still finding pieces further up on the hillside here. And typically the free mill gold in this area is associated with the hematic vugs and more crystallized quartz. Here's another big piece. I haven't looked at this one yet. So you can see that beautiful mineralization on the quartz. A lot of hematite and magnetites in it. But my suspicion is that a vein popped out down in this area which carried the better looking ore, and up here we'll see what we find. Closer to some deposit of mineralized quartz. Doesn't look quite right, but we have a big boulder here. This guy we're going to investigate in just a second. Looks very interesting. But we followed the scattering. Here's some floaters. This one's starting to look like what I want. You can see the thinner quartz vein with the crystals and the hematite in the middle. Right below a small quartz vein. You can see it here. So this is a crystallized quartz vein. It looks to be, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches thick, but it doesn't look like the right vein to me. So in this piece, which you can see all the little quartz crystals, some beautiful vugs. Now this piece is sitting above the vein, so I'm going to discount this vein and continue my search uphill. Okay, just found the quartz vein. This is very exciting. So here we're at, midway up this hill. I have some kind of rock. This is a granite slab, which happens to be more resistant, a rib sticking up. I have a little bit of a depression from here. And there might be two separate veins. But this material sure is looking interesting. I mean, look at this rock. It's got beautiful hematite iron staining, some quartz crystals. This is a zone of massive quartz. You can see this would be the gang rock here and here, and this is the quartz vein intrusion. But when we see this vuggied, partially oxidized hematite slash sometimes limonite, this is where we're finding the gold deposit in this type of material. Can't believe I stumbled upon this, but following your intuitions and really chasing down those clues is what it takes. Now we're gonna keep poking around here, see if there's a place we can expose the vein, take some samples, and go from there. Found a second vein. It almost looks like we have 2 or 3 different veins here, and it's possible where they intersect could be the bonanza. These pieces I just pulled out from here, and it keeps going back, and it looks like it's right in between or right next to this kind of quartzose nice rib intrusion, and here on the other side of it as well. See, this is still buried in the ground, and just above here, well, it looks like it must dip under. So this would be a spot that is certainly worth sampling. Cool. And it looks like the old timers somehow missed this. Nobody sampled any of it. There's quite a few different quartz stringers that intertwine in this area, and you can see here we have an exposed rib of this kind of silicified gneiss, and right down the center of it is this 2 to 3 inch wide mineralized quartz vein. So here's one vein for absolutely certain, and this whole, there's an area from here to this rib rock where my backpack is laden with mineralized quartz floaters, and here's proof of an exposed vein. Now this is the only one I've come across, so the rest of it's probably buried under here, and this is truly exciting. And this is the stuff. We're gonna collect and take 2 samples. But look at this boulder. Now you can see here's this schistose gneiss, and it's interladen with some quartz stringers. But right here, this is a chunk of vein, and you can see right on the contact zone is the more mineralized area, and where it's vuggy, it's oxidized. The sulfides have melted away, and this big old chunker could have free mill gold in it. So this is super exciting. We'll follow up if we find anything else truly interesting. Here's a nice little quartz vug. But I think definitely we're gonna have to take a sample or 2 home and get an assay done. We're taking vein sample number 2. Here you can see the mineralized quartz coming down. This is a solid in situ vein. We already got 1 sample. Now we're going to take a sample of this. I'm going to take a part of this rock, And we followed the vein down, and I'm going to take another sample of this chunk of ore. So this is grab sample, vein sample, numero dos. Number 3. Ooh, that's some nice looking stuff in there. Look at that mineralization. So this is going to go into grab sample number 2. There's a pretty big rock outcropping at the top of a hill, and this tree branch is sticking right out of this pile of rocks. When I go to move it, it's loose. See how those rocks move? And it looks like somebody put these rocks in on top of it. So I'm gonna explore this to see if there's any, you know, maybe a miner hit his gold in here. Who knows? This branch was definitely placed in here. Look, there's no roots. Comes right out. Someone stuck it in like this and covered it with stone to mark the area for some reason or another. It's nowhere near sturdy enough of a branch to be a claim post. So who knows? We'll dig around in this and see. So over the years, I've learned the hard way. It's extremely important to label your samples. So here we have sample number 1. You know, pretty mineralized, beautifully mineralized quartz here. And sample number 2, which consists of larger crystalled material. There looks like there might even be a little bit of galena in here, carrying lead, possibly a little bit of silver. Now this piece that we split truly has the potential to be something really interesting. There's a spot, here we go, right there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Let's see if we can zoom in. Focus. Right in there. Kind of looks like a really thin ribbon of gold, and if that's the case, we're happy, and we've made it back to the truck, and I'd have to say that that was a successful day of prospecting. We found what I'm calling a swarm of veins up on this hillside, and now we can only hope that those veins are laden with gold, and if they are, we're gonna work them on a small scale with a rock crusher shaker table and do it the old-fashioned way. It's what we do, it's what we like to do, it's what keeps us excited. So thanks for tagging along. See you next time.